Reading, a large town in the county of Berkshire, is located 36 miles due west of central London and 24 miles southeast of Oxford. The centre of Reading is on a low ridge between the River Thames and River Kennet, close to their confluence, reflecting the town's history as a river port. Industrially, Reading has been an important hub and supplier of various trades throughout its history. First, cloth and other textiles, later clothes manufacturing, and then, in the 19th century, Reading became known for its 3 Bs: bulbs, breweries, and biscuits. Central Reading also boasts a number of historically significant sites, including the Victorian Forbury Gardens, situated near the ruins of Reading Abbey. The abbey was largely destroyed in 1538 during the dissolution of the monasteries by King Henry VIII. A young Jane Austen attended Reading Ladies' Boarding School, based in the Abbey Gateway, in the 1780s. A century after that, poet and playwright Oscar Wilde was imprisoned in the nearby Reading jail between 1895 and 1897. Now considered one of the UK's top 10 retail destinations, Reading has an estimated population of over 145,000 people. It is divided into 16 different council wards. The southern and ambiguously defined area referred to as Whitley, itself a part of 4 different council wards, is now the home of Fusion Youth and Communities National Office.
So in October 2013, it became really clear that the Fusion team in Wheatley, Oxfordshire, needed and was ready to become autonomous. They no longer needed the support and leadership of full-time Fusion staff. And so this released us to consider where God would have us go next.
Fusion felt challenged by God to ensure wherever the next national base was to be established, that our presence would be one that would make sense to the narrative of the area. It felt right to look for somewhere that was in need of the resources and gifts that Fusion has to offer, namely the experience in long-term sustainable Christian mission, youth work and leadership training.
Dan Evenhouse and Claire Bancoli, both then members of Fusion Youth and Communities National Leadership, met with Reverends Vernon Orr and Leon Collier in Whitley in early December of 2013. In this meeting, Reverend Orr shared that a number of pastors in the Whitley area were also keen to have a more permanent Fusion presence in the area.
When I heard that Fusion wanted to come and base their headquarters for the UK in Whitley, I was absolutely thrilled to bits. I couldn't believe it. We've been working with Fusion for 10 years and we so admire their professionalism and the servant-hearted way that they serve the people they work with. And really they are world beaters when it comes to festivals and open crowd celebrations. So the thought that we could work more with them, we'd see more of them, they'd be able to help us more. And because they share our agenda to see God's kingdom, well, we want to work with them. And we're so pleased that they've based themselves in Whitley in South Reading.
In the following months, we continued meeting with the Whitley pastors and also the Reading Christian Network as we tried to discern what was right, whether it was right for us to move to Reading. And this whole process provided much needed prayer and fellowship on the journey.
Words of encouragement and prayer were poured out as Claire and Danica continued coming to the Whitley pastors meeting in January and February of 2014. Finally, certain of God's call, Fusion decided it was right for Claire Bancoli and Danica Parker to relocate to Whitley as the Fusion National Office team in April of 2014. 3 months later, Sky Leon joined what is now Fusion Reading. Since arriving, the Fusion team have been involved with providing Centre Games training and support for the South Reading Church's Fun Day, organising monthly Whitley community prayer gatherings and other prayer rhythms, and conducting the Fusion Whitley Research Project. The research project in particular is a fundamental step towards Fusion's future contribution in Whitley. Already the research project has provided ample opportunities for us to network and get to meet local people and hear what life is like from their perspective as they live in Whitley.
Yeah, education's a huge one. Education opportunities for employment or for gaining skills for employment. The stigma attached to being someone who lives in Whitley. So teenagers and young people not given the opportunities purely because of the postcode of where they live. I think that's a difficulty that many of them face. One thing that surprised me is the sense of community that people have. So even in some pretty dire places, the sense of community and the sense of we're in this together is pretty high. Just not working in the community, but actually becoming part of it. And so being, even though I don't physically live in the location, being known as someone that actually this is just somewhere, this is where I am. It's not somewhere I come and go from, but it's somewhere that I'm invested in, and and that I want to see good things for Whitley.
As a result of the research, Fusion will put together some recommendations about what next steps might be appropriate for the community of Whitley. We'll take those recommendations to the churches of Whitley, and we're looking forward to together working out from that what our specific contribution will be.
Fusion's also looking forward to working as part of the wider youth and community service network in Whitley, so that whatever our contribution might be, it's going to be both beneficial and welcomed.